Ever wondered why Amish barns never have rat problems despite storing tons of grain? While modern homeowners spend hundreds on toxic chemicals and fancy traps, Amish families eliminate entire rodent populations using simple household items. These time-tested methods work so effectively that some communities haven't seen a rat in decades. Why Amish avoid chemicals? Amish communities reject chemical pest control for profound reasons, rooted in their faith and agricultural wisdom. Their religious beliefs emphasize stewardship of God's creation, making them reluctant to use poisons that could harm children, livestock, or beneficial wildlife. Practical experience taught them that natural methods actually work better long-term because they address root causes rather than symptoms, creating environments that naturally discourage rodent settlement. Method 1. Peppermint oil barriers. Amish grandmothers discovered that peppermint oil creates invisible barriers that rodents absolutely refuse to cross, making it their first line of defense against unwanted visitors. The strong menthol scent overwhelms rodent nervous systems, causing disorientation and panic that drives them away from treated areas immediately. Preparation involves mixing pure peppermint essential oil with water in spray bottles, using ratios of 1 tablespoon oil per cup of water for maximum effectiveness. Amish families soak cotton balls in concentrated peppermint oil and place them strategically around entry points, storage areas, and anywhere rodent activity has been detected. The key lies in consistent reapplication every 3 to 4 days, as the scent naturally fades over time. This method works exceptionally well because peppermint oil is completely safe around children, pets, and food storage areas where chemical poisons would be dangerous. Results appear within 24 hours as existing rodents flee treated areas. Method 2. Steel wool blocking. Steel wool blocking represents ingenious Amish engineering that turns rodents' own biology against them through strategic use of materials that cannot be chewed or bypassed. Rodents possess incredibly sharp teeth designed for gnawing through wood, plastic, and even some metals, but steel wool creates an impossible barrier that causes pain and frustration when contacted. Amish craftsmen identify every potential entry point around buildings, including tiny gaps under doors, holes around pipes, cracks in foundations, and spaces where different building materials meet. They stuff fine steel wool tightly into these openings, ensuring no gaps remain that might allow rodent passage. The brilliant aspect involves combining steel wool with expanding foam or caulk to create permanent seals that rodents cannot remove or circumvent. As rodents attempt to chew through steel wool, the sharp fibers cut their mouths and create intense discomfort that teaches them to avoid these areas completely. This method provides years of protection without maintenance costs. Method 3. Homemade snap traps. Amish ingenuity shines through their custom-built snap traps that outperform expensive commercial versions through superior design, better materials, and strategic placement based on generations of rodent behavior observation. These handcrafted devices cost pennies to produce while achieving remarkable success rates that shame modern manufacturing. Construction begins with selecting proper wood pieces, typically scrap lumber from other projects that would otherwise be wasted. Amish craftsmen carve trigger mechanisms with precise sensitivity that responds to lightest rodent touch while remaining stable enough to avoid false triggers from vibrations or air currents. The secret lies in understanding rodent psychology and travel patterns that most people completely miss. Amish families place traps along walls where rodents naturally travel, avoiding open areas that make animals suspicious. They use irresistible baits like peanut butter mixed with oatmeal, creating textures that require extended contact time to consume. These homemade traps last decades with minimal maintenance, unlike flimsy commercial versions that break after several uses. Success rates exceed 90% when properly constructed and positioned, according to traditional Amish knowledge. Method 4. Cat urine deterrent. Predator scent marking using cat urine represents sophisticated biological warfare that exploits millions of years of evolutionary fear responses programmed into rodent survival instincts. Amish communities have perfected this technique through careful observation of natural predator-prey relationships and strategic application methods. Collection involves training barn cats to use specific areas where urine can be gathered efficiently, often using sandboxes or absorbent materials that concentrate scent for maximum potency. Fresh cat urine contains powerful pheromones that signal immediate predator presence to any rodent in the vicinity, triggering panic responses that override feeding and nesting behaviors. Application requires strategic placement around rodent entry points, food storage areas, and nesting locations to create psychological territories that rodents perceive as actively patrolled by dangerous predators. Amish families refresh these scent markers weekly, maintaining constant predator presence that prevents rodent adaptation. The brilliance lies in understanding that rodents will abandon entire territories rather than risk encountering predators, making this approach more effective than killing individual animals while leaving attractive environments intact. Multiple cats in Amish communities provide abundant scent material while also serving as backup physical deterrence. This natural approach costs absolutely nothing while providing superior results. Method 5. Ammonia. Soaked rags. Ammonia-soaked rags create powerful chemical deterrents that mimic predator urine while providing strong odor barriers that rodents find absolutely intolerable in their sensitive nasal passages. Amish families discovered that household ammonia creates zones of protection that rodents avoid completely. Preparation involves soaking old rags or cloth scraps in household ammonia, ensuring complete saturation that provides long-lasting odor release over several weeks. Strategic placement around foundations, storage areas, attics, and basements creates overlapping protection zones that prevent rodent movement effectively. The ammonia scent triggers survival responses in rodents because it closely resembles cat urine and other predator markings that signal dangerous territory requiring immediate evacuation. Rodents possess extremely sensitive smell receptors that become overwhelmed by ammonia concentration, causing discomfort and disorientation. Amish families coordinate ammonia applications during seasonal cleaning periods, ensuring community-wide protection. Safety considerations include proper ventilation when applying ammonia indoors and keeping treated rags away from children and pets. Results appear quickly as existing rodents flee treated areas. Method 6. Ultrasonic corn cob method. Traditional Amish wisdom discovered that dried corn cobs create natural ultrasonic frequencies when properly prepared and positioned, generating sound waves that disturb rodent communication and navigation systems without affecting humans or larger animals. Preparation involves selecting mature corn cobs that have dried thoroughly, then creating specific cuts and holes that allow air movement to generate precise frequency ranges. Amish craftsmen learned through experimentation that certain cob sizes produce optimal sound frequencies that interfere with rodent ultrasonic communication systems. Strategic placement requires understanding airflow patterns around buildings, positioning prepared corn cobs where natural ventilation creates consistent sound generation without requiring electricity. Barns, attics, and storage areas provide ideal locations where devices operate continuously without maintenance costs. The science involves disrupting rodent echolocation and communication systems that depend on ultrasonic frequencies for navigation and territory marking. This method costs absolutely nothing since corn cobs represent agricultural waste. Method 7. Predator scent marking. Advanced predator scent marking techniques developed by Amish communities exploit sophisticated understanding of territorial behavior patterns that govern predator-prey relationships in natural ecosystems. This approach goes beyond simple cat urine applications to create comprehensive scent landscapes that convince rodents they have entered actively hunted territories, where survival is impossible. Collection strategies involve gathering scent materials from multiple predator species, including cats, dogs, foxes, and even human scents that rodents associate with danger. Amish families coordinate with neighbors to collect diverse predator scents that create complex territorial signatures resembling active hunting grounds rather than simple deterrent barriers. Application requires understanding rodent psychology and movement patterns to place scent markers where they will have maximum psychological impact. Entry points: food sources, and potential nesting sites receive primary attention, while secondary markers create backup deterrent zones that prevent rodents from adapting to primary protection systems. Strategic rotation involves changing scent types and locations regularly to prevent rodent habituation to specific deterrent patterns. The key lies in creating believable predator territories that trigger deep-seated survival responses programmed into rodent genetics over millions of years of evolution. Community coordination ensures that individual family efforts combine into comprehensive territorial control that prevents rodents from simply relocating to neighboring properties when encountering deterrent systems. Results include elimination of existing rodent populations and long-term prevention of new infestations. Method 8. Food storage techniques. Sophisticated Amish food storage techniques eliminate rodent attraction by removing access to food sources that motivate infestations, creating environments where rodents cannot survive regardless of nesting opportunities or protection from predators. These time-tested methods address root causes of rodent problems, rather than treating symptoms after infestations establish themselves. Container selection involves using metal, glass, and tightly sealed wooden vessels that rodents cannot penetrate through chewing or manipulation. Amish families construct custom storage containers with overlapping lids, gasket seals, and smooth surfaces that prevent rodent climbing while protecting food from contamination and spoilage that represents economic loss. Strategic placement raises food storage above rodent reach while ensuring convenient access for family members during daily food preparation activities. Elevated platforms, hanging systems, and wall-mounted storage keep food sources away from areas where rodents naturally travel while maintaining organized kitchen systems that support efficient household management. Organization systems separate different food types to minimize contamination risks while creating storage patterns that discourage rodent exploration through unfamiliar territory. Cleaning protocols ensure that food residues, crumbs, and spillage are eliminated immediately to prevent scent trails that attract rodents from surrounding areas. The effectiveness lies in understanding that rodents require consistent food access to maintain populations in any given territory. By eliminating these resources completely, Amish communities create environmental conditions where rodent populations cannot sustain themselves. Method 9. Seasonal timing strategies. Masterful seasonal timing strategies developed by Amish communities synchronize pest control efforts with natural rodent behavior cycles, reproduction patterns, and migration timing to achieve maximum effectiveness while minimizing effort and resource investment required for comprehensive rodent management programs. Spring preparation focuses on preventing establishment of new rodent populations as animals emerge from winter shelters seeking breeding territories and food sources. Amish families implement deterrent systems before rodent activity peaks, creating hostile environments that discourage territorial establishment during critical reproduction periods when single pairs can generate dozens of offspring. Summer maintenance involves monitoring and refreshing deterrent systems while taking advantage of abundant natural food sources that make artificial deterrents more effective. Fall prevention represents the most critical period as rodents seek winter shelter and begin hoarding food supplies for survival during cold months. Winter monitoring allows detection of any rodent activity that indicates system failures requiring immediate attention before populations can establish breeding colonies that explode into major infestations during following spring. Reproduction cycles. Community coordination ensures that seasonal timing strategies operate simultaneously across entire neighborhoods, preventing rodents from simply relocating to neighboring properties. Weather integration takes advantage of natural conditions that affect rodent behavior using rain, wind, and temperature variations to enhance deterrent effectiveness while timing major prevention efforts during optimal conditions for implementation success. Method 10. Community cooperation methods. Revolutionary community cooperation methods represent the ultimate Amish advantage in rodent control, creating coordinated defense systems that achieve results impossible through individual family efforts by establishing community-wide protection networks that eliminate rodent populations across entire settlements simultaneously. Information sharing systems ensure that all families remain informed about rodent activity patterns, successful deterrent techniques, and emerging problems that require collective response coordination. Regular community meetings include pest management discussions, where families share observations, success stories, and challenges that affect neighborhood-wide rodent control effectiveness.